Hi, Park Hills Church. Pastor Graham and Pastor Alex here to do another spiritual disciplines video. And today we're going to talk about a spiritual discipline that's hard for Americans to do because as a virtue, Americans typically, we like to be productive. But this spiritual discipline is going to be one where we put less stock in what we do, but instead more for who we are. And that is Sabbathing. Sabbathing is rest, right?
Yeah, and Sabbath is intentional rest, right? The key here is that we should be intentional. It's not just, I'm going to take a Sabbath, so I'm going to nap today. But it's to cease that production that our hearts crave so much and remember the one who makes us productive. It's to cease doing what we're normally doing so we can intentionally set aside time to remember that our identity is not in what we can do, but our identity is who we are in Christ.
Yeah, and we see this right away in Genesis 1 and 2, where God created in 6 days, but on the seventh day, he rested. And that doesn't mean that God just all of a sudden turned his back on creation and was absent. Actually, no, he was just enjoying what it was that he had created. And that's a pattern that we can pick up as well.
Yeah, and that same pattern, we can cease from our normal productive activities and do things that help draw us and connect us with God. And typically, we would take Sunday. Different people take different days, I guess, but to spend time intentionally connecting with God in our relationship with him. And this is about us connecting with God. It's not about following the letter of the law. I had a friend in high school who wasn't allowed to do homework on Sunday. So if he didn't finish his homework for Monday's class, he would just stay up till midnight on Sunday. And at 12:01, it wasn't technically Sunday anymore, and then he could do his homework.
Right.
And that's not what we're thinking about. And I don't think that's what God calls us to. God calls us to follow the spirit or intention of this law here and say, you know what? Normally you do these things. Normally you value this production, and not that production is bad, but there's just something more important in life than producing and working and gaining.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And so as a church this month, we want to focus our attention on this idea of resting, and focus our attention not on so much of being doers, but instead knowing who we are in Christ and allowing that identity to speak louder than our productivity. So practically, what can this look like this month? Well, maybe we say no to certain things and yes to certain things. So maybe we're saying no to social media. Maybe we're saying no to needing to do work at home. Maybe we're saying no to even making the bed. But instead we're saying yes to worship. We're saying yes to silence. We're saying yes to just knowing God in a greater way and resting in knowing, I can be comfortable in who he calls me to be, not because of what I do, but because of who he calls me.
No to social media. Wow, that's a good challenge, Graham. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoy your Sabbath as we do too. We'll see you later.
All right, thanks.